Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk about all major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and more. I'm Chris, and later tonight we have the Loki finale, which has set itself up to be quite the wild ride. I'm very excited to see how it actually all will play out, what these final details will bring us to, and what it will leave us with in the MCU. This show really has seemed like it's going to have the biggest effect moving forward on Phase 4 and leading into the next Spider-Man film, the Doctor Strange film, and all of the crazy scenarios that can play out moving forward really will bring an interesting twist to those movies and other future TV shows. So this video is my final prediction to what I think will happen, a theory as to how it will all connect, where it will play out, and what we can kind of look for and expect moving forward, and exactly how it will affect the MCU after the Loki series is done. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel, guys. Tonight we will be announcing the winner of the Marvel and DC chair giveaway. All you need to do to enter is, like I said, subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to increase your odds of winning, I'll be picking a winner from either YouTube or from my Twitter. So you can follow me there at The Culture Chris as well for a second opportunity to win. Good luck to you guys. I will be drawing the winner on the live watch party tonight with the Loki finale. So go ahead and make sure you're subscribed, follow me on Twitter, and good luck to you. So my final prediction, everything that Loki has led us up to this point has been very exciting. We have been brought along this storyline that in a matter of weeks has changed everything we know about the MCU. And moving forward, it's supposedly going to affect the MCU in a catastrophic way, probably relating to the multiverse, the end of the TVA, and the multiverse being opened up, leaving it in a madness that Doctor Strange is going to have to attempt to organize. But before we get to that, we need to watch the finale, and we need to find out what exactly is going on with the ruler of the TVA. We'll call them the big bad of the episode, the big bad of the series. However, it's possible that they're not. It's possible that they're just trying to do their job. They're just trying to reign order in the sacred timeline. However, it seems like moving forward here, the TVA has kind of had a bad rep. All of its agents were kidnapped. They don't really know who they are or what they're doing. So I don't imagine that that's going to end with whoever is running the TVA, whoever is creating the sacred timeline, being a good guy with good intentions. It's going to be somebody who wants to manipulate time, somebody who wants to control everybody and force them to do whatever his will is. Essentially making him a god and essentially making him ruler of everything. Now keep that description in mind as we will be coming back to that in just a second. Now, the last episode of Loki led off with Sylvie and Loki discovering the location of whoever's running the TVA, and they're headed in to find out what's going on. We know from a bunch of trailers, especially the mid-season trailer that came out for Marvel, that they're going to end up inside the castle, and eventually we're going to find out who is in it. Presumably, whoever is in this castle is going to be the big reveal of who's running the TVA. The first of two big questions moving into this finale is who is running the TVA? And there are really only a few answers that make sense in my mind. One, Kang the Conqueror. Now that's come from a few different Easter eggs that have been laid out throughout the series, and the idea of pretty much time travel belonging to Kang from the comics, as well as the known introduction of the character in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where we know the character will be involved and already has an actor playing him, so definitely a lot of leading opportunities for this to be happening. However, the second option is what my final guess is going to be as we move into it, and that is that it is a Loki. But I'm going to take it one step further. I don't even think it's just a Loki. I think it is the Loki, the sacred timeline Loki. Tom Hiddleston's Loki from all of the Avengers films we've seen, from all of the MCU leading up to the first 10 years. And I'll walk you through how this is possible because yes, I am aware that he died in Avengers Infinity War. Before classic Loki's epic sacrifice, he explained to us that he survived because he used his magic to build a projection so realistic that quote-unquote the Mad Titan himself didn't even notice. And the Mad Titan killed this Loki's projection and he then hid next to some rubble or as some rubble and took off into space, floating away and remaining by himself alive. Eventually he explains he got lonely and that when he went to leave where he was, causing no problems and completely undetected by the TVA, he was immediately found and pruned by the TVA because Loki was supposed to die to Thanos. Now, follow me here with this because time travel is very confusing. But let's imagine our Loki did the same thing, which is very possible because all of these different variants that have a Loki are capable of creating and doing different things, but also the same things. So if classic Loki had the ability and the brains to go ahead and trick Thanos, that means our main timeline Loki, not the variant from this show, the main timeline Loki who went up against Thanos in Infinity War and died, also has the ability and the brains and the possibility, the opportunity to do the same thing. Now let's suppose he did do that same thing. It is possible that our Loki, who we know is very powerful, has the ability to create the entire TVA, the sacred timeline, and we'll get back to that description now of whoever the big bad is, be a god of everyone, creating their decisions for them and making things woven into a secret timeline. The sacred timeline. So our main timeline Loki, who died in Avengers Infinity War, faked his death just like classic Loki did, eventually becoming a god, creating the sacred timeline, ruling over everybody, and I think that's going to be the reveal we get tonight. It just makes too much sense. It's going to be about Loki. The show is called Loki. We've seen several variants of Loki. Over the time, we've learned that Loki has more power than he's even aware. Specifically in the last episode, when we saw classic Loki going full out super cool with all of his abilities, and Tom Hiddleston's Loki looks at Sylvie and says, "We're more powerful than I think we realize." And I think main timeline Loki realized that and has used that power. Also, we can talk about how it's been a superior Loki theme throughout the entirety of the show. Again, even in the last one, when all of the Lokis were there, they were arguing amongst themselves of who should be king of the entire pruned world. And they are backstabbing each other and going over each other's heads. And it's very interesting because the Loki politics all leads up to, I believe, something. And that is, there is a superior Loki, and it is the Loki that is in charge of the TVA. Which is also why all of these Lokis are continuously getting pruned, and why Mobius, the head detective of the TVA, has put so much energy and focus into Lokis, because the orders are to get rid of all other Lokis. Because the main bad guy Loki, whether it's the main timeline Loki or some other variant of Loki regardless, knows the potential of a Loki, knows what it means to be a Loki, and knows that if anybody's going to be able to trick or backstab or betray or ruin the plans of this main TVA bad guy, it's going to be a Loki. So that makes perfect sense in my head. I really am excited to see what they ended up doing with the TVA, who's in charge of the TVA. Let me know your guess in the comments section down below. Do you think it's Kang? Do you think it's a Loki? Or do you think it's somebody else? Following the episode, however, we will have ruins. I do believe as well, and this follows my predictions, that the TVA will be destroyed. That overall there will be no TVA moving forward, the sacred timeline will unwind, and we will head into the multiverse of madness. Now this means moving forward for Spider-Man, that the multiverse can open up, and that makes sense because we've seen that Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx will both be returning from different universes in the main Spider-Man movie. That's confirmed, that's not a rumor, they're going to be there. So there is going to be some type of multiverse manipulation going on in this Spider-Man movie, whether or not Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield show up at all, even though I'm pretty sure they will be. So following that, we can see the multiverse is falling into a little bit of chaos. It's not going to be completely ruined up to this point. However, we will see that things are starting to unravel. Then on top of that, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness will be put into hard drive as the multiverse actually does ascend into this chaos. And it will be up to Doctor Strange to see if he can figure it out. Since the TVA no longer exists, it was destroyed by Loki and Sylvie, or they completely dissolved it because they've both had huge changes of hearts and they don't want to run it. They want to destroy it. So the TVA is gone, the superior timeline, the sacred timeline is gone, and Doctor Strange is left as the lone sorcerer who can fix the mess. Now, we'll have to wait and see exactly what the plans are for that and whether or not he'll manage it. It's possible he can't fix it, and this will ascend us into a cool battle world scenario, but we'll have to wait and see if that's the direction or that's as quickly as Marvel's trying to get into that crazy multiversal battle world scene. Regardless, whatever happens tonight is sure to be exciting, it's sure to change the face of the MCU, and the reveal is going to be crazy. I can't wait to find out who it is. We'll see if it's a Loki, we'll see if it's Kang, we'll see if it's somebody else completely unexpected, and when it does happen, boom, our minds will be blown. Be sure to join me tonight for the live watch party. We have a group of you guys always hanging out. Love to see some new faces there. Check in, let me know what you thought, let me know your theories in the comment section down below, and I can't wait to hear from all of you about this finale later on Cosmic Culture.